Welcome, Chiefs Kingdom. Thanks for tuning in to this Red Kingdom Media production, bringing you raw, authentic Chiefs coverage. Make sure to like and subscribe to stay up to date on your team. Now sit back and enjoy the show.
Welcome to another episode of Chiefin. I'm your host,
Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie. Bob with you and talk about all the latest, what happened up in that game, break down all the scores and stats.
Let's just see that. Let's hope the Chiefs come back and show that their regular self. The offense has not arrived yet. Let's see if we can get it back rolling. That'll be crazy.
Facts. You know our little defense. Facts. Go Chiefs. What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Chief. And I'm your host, Dale Fowler, along with my partner, Lonnie. How you doing today, bro?
Good. Getting ready for this holiday. Happy. Chilling here with the family.
Bruh, Christmas is upon us, and damn, we got a Christmas game coming up as well, too. We get to enjoy it. We can open up presents with the family, open up presents for the kids and everything like that. Chill, have that good little Christmas morning type feeling with each other, and then we got a game right at 12 o'clock. Your head time.
Yep.
11 o'clock my time, so it's definitely going to be an eventful Christmas. We definitely got a lot going on, and we got a lot to talk about with everybody today as well too. So before we start, here's today's topics. So having some trouble with Toney, experienced yet another mistake that happened last week in our last matchup. And it was pretty frustrating against the New England Patriots. I mean, we was up still, but it's just the point that it actually happened. And a lot of fans start criticizing. You saw the frustration from Mahomes as well too. So we definitely got to dive into that. And then Skyy No Moore, he hit the IR for the remainder of the season. So he does have potential, I believe, to still come back in the postseason. However, we will miss him for the rest of the regular season. And then Christmas, not Halloween. Last time we had our first video, well, not first video, but a couple videos back where we talked about the Chiefs having the potential to go ahead and lock up the AFC West in that moment, beating Denver. But they have another chance now on another holiday, on Christmas, to go ahead and get this done and win the AFC West. And we also had our 11th straight winning season as well too, after winning against the New England Patriots. So we have a chance to clinch the division once again. And then also Andy Reid's workshop, like what to expect, especially with Skyy Moore going on to IR as well too, and just seeing like what we can do, what we can build, bring up, because with missing that, we do have the potential of having Justin Ross back as well too. And then also, lastly, before we go ahead and end, we're going to talk about our predictions for this game. A lot of things coming up. You see our producer prediction right now. He does have the Chiefs winning 28-20. We'll go more into that when we talk about it ourselves. But that's the star-studded lineup for us today. So, Lonnie, the Kansas City Chiefs, they defeated the New England Patriots 27-17 to move on to 9-5 on the season. Offensively, it was a better day. It was a better day, and I could say that. We had a couple turnovers still, but we still put up more points than what we did in the last couple games that we played. Toney took more heat following this game. So first off, what were your thoughts on the entire performance on both the offense and the defensive side of the ball? And what do you feel we have in store for KT in the future to end off the season?
Yeah, so I think the offense looked good despite the turnovers and the penalties, shooting themselves in the foot. I feel like they were able to have some success in some areas just on third down. They had a lot of success with Rashee Rice creeping up on your favorite players' record, Dwayne Bowe, and his rookie record, and surpassing him. They found out a good way to use him. And KT, yes, he did struggle, but I believe the road doesn't get any easier for KT if they, especially with the role that they are carving out for him in the offense. Andy believes that he can be a big part of this offense, a very large part of the offense, and be very effective. Ever since we won that Super Bowl, you see that Andy is going to lean on him. He puts a lot on his shoulders. It's not going to be easier.
Right.
KT's just going to have to keep his head up and kind of keep chipping away here, and going back to the drawing board. I say you get him involved early. You give him some handoffs and do different things like that to probably get him back on track. But yeah, I don't think it gets any easier for KT. I just kind of felt bad for him, but you kind of also feel where Mahomes is coming from, because you're kind of at your wits' end with kind of trying to rely on a guy, and you can't. He's not reliable, so you want to trust in him, but you're unable to, because you're not seeing the success there. But I just want to say hats off to the defense. The defense did what they did all year. Played at a very, very high level. Got back there, got turnovers, got some sacks. Charles getting in there for a sack, Drew getting in there for a sack, Willie getting an interception. They played at a high level. They've done it all year. Continue to play that way. Hats off to those guys. They continue to keep us in games, and the reason that we're around, and the reason that we are really are keeping our head above water right now. So I just really want to say hats off to those guys. We haven't seen a defense this good in the Patrick Mahomes era. This is one of a kind for sure. But yes, the offense looked good, even despite shooting herself in the foot and having those weird turnovers.
I was satisfied with the performance on Sunday. I felt that the team, they really dialed in and understood what they were doing the last couple games. It was not acceptable, and we had a lot of moments that we could have at least got back into the game when it up and had a lead, or had the potential to close out the game with a win as well too, and we actually failed. I think they came in with a different mindset, understanding that they had to at least go out there and put up points. Mahomes did have that one turnover. Well, actually 2 turnovers, but when I go back and look at it, I don't really place the blame on him as much, just because, and we talked about it in the post game as well too. I felt like those plays could have been better played by the receiver, or the person that was actually receiving the ball at that time. We had one that was taken away from Blake Bell, and then we had one that bounced off of KT hands as well too. With the Blake Bell situation, a lot of people think, like you said before as well, like maybe in those situations you have been trusting these guys already. Why not try to throw it to the ground or get out of bounds and live to fight another down? And I think in that situation, when you see somebody open in the middle of the field like that, because you went through all of your progressions, go to that guy to at least get some yardage, and then you can at least have an easier second or third down as well too. But unfortunately, he got dominated by that linebacker who played the ball pretty well, and it resulted in that. And then also with the KT situation, this is something that we've seen time and time again throughout the season, where it came off his hands and then it went into the defensive player hands, and they were able to turn over the ball and build momentum off of that. And each time I believe that he did have a turnover, they score points off of it. So I mean, it's something that's a reoccurring issue, and you can see the frustration from Mahomes as well. And I don't think he completely given up on Toney, but I think it's going to be times to where it's like, oh, why he didn't go to Toney? Well, because of the situations that he had beforehand, and he's focused on just not really giving up the ball, or trying to like put it in the hands of the defense to where they can capitalize and give their offense a chance to put points on the board. So it's going to be unfortunate, but I think with the Kadarius Toney situation, you don't go away from him still. Sad. It seems like the simple thing to do, just because we expecting guys like Justin Ross to come up, and with Skyy Moore going to IR, we'll talk about that a little bit as well too, and seeing more rest from Richie James. It's like you don't have to attack him as much if you don't want to. The thing is, we still came into this season expecting him to be our number 1 wide receiver, even though it ended up being our rookie Rashee Rice who has been able to fill the role. And I had praised him a lot. I think people heard enough from me actually raving about him. We know what he can do on the field. He still got 82 yards each game he can do to actually complete that goal of 1,000 yards, and I do think he can get it. I'm gonna put that out there right now. But with the Kadarius Toney situation, I think going into the postseason, you want to have as many weapons as you can at your disposal when you get to that point, because once going into those games, they're going to be keying in on Travis Kelce. So you're going to need your other guys to be able to step up in those moments. And a guy like Toney can possess that and be able to help us put points on the board as well too. Just because he has that elusive nature in him to where he can be able to break tackles and get the ball downfield. But I think in those certain situations, maybe have Rashee Rice your across the field guy, somebody that's playing in the middle. Have Toney outside in the numbers because we saw what he did in the Jacksonville game before, adjusting his gloves and going up for that catch. That will always live rent free in my head. And it's like, why you don't put him in more of those situations? Because maybe if you see that type of play from him, those reps that we're talking about taking away from MVS because he has drop issues, maybe you can get that down the field from him, even though he's somewhat having the same thing, but he's more of a downfield weapon. He likes to get the ball downfield. He is a route runner, and he had that issue in college as well too. That's something that we dealt with Tyreek Hill at moments to where he's someone who he created a space from the DB. He might drop the ball in there, but when he catch it, just know the fans is getting riled up. The offense is getting riled up, and more than likely, you might score points off that possession as well too. So that's why I don't think you just completely shut him out and just have that feeling for him. But we gotta find ways to where we not going away from him, but we're not putting him in situations to screw the game for us as well too. So you might see him in more jet sweep option plays to where we can get the ball to him early in his hands, very quick, but it's not in the at the disposal of potentially giving up an interception downfield off the tip hands of him in that moment and going into the defender's hands. So we're going to try to save him from himself at times, but at the same time, you can still get the best out of him as well too. And I think that's going to be the goal going forward. Defensively, I enjoyed what I saw. They always play lights out. I never have any excuse for him. You already mentioned the guys that made big plays for us and actually capitalized when we needed. At times, I did see Bailey Zappi actually seemed like he was dialing it up on us, but uh, um that's that discussion of what we was hearing with Cam Newton this week, this week as well too, with the game manager and game changers. He was just putting the ball in position to where he's not going to lose the game for them. But you can't do that against the Kansas City Chiefs as well too. He was definitely checking it down. He was not letting us get to him. And when you play teams like that, that's why you got to get those 3 and outs, get those stops, have them punt the ball, and we got to capitalize and score. Because once you do that to a quarterback of that caliber, they're going to be like, I got to get the ball out a little bit more now. I got to think about I got to go through all my progressions. I can't just go to that check down immediately because I might have to create a play downfield. And that's going to allow our defense to be able to respond and make plays like that. And we saw from Willie Gay as well, too, where he was able to get an interception and he almost had a touchdown. So defense, they did their part. We got continuous pressure. That wasn't an issue if he wasn't getting the ball out of his hands quick. The defensive backs, they played a solid game as well, too. L'Jarius Sneed, once again, playing lights out, doing what he does best, shutting down the number one wide receiver of the opposing team. Even though it wasn't the weapon, like this wasn't a group that had like elite weapons on the outside, but at the same time, he did his job like he was supposed to. They still had a guy who was a bell cow at running back, Ezekiel Elliott. We saw what he did in years with the Cowboys. We stopped that. We were very much on that. Big plays by Bolton, Drew, Willie, all those guys, and even Noddy as well that you saw get praise to, and Chris Jones. They were really tearing up that interior, and they weren't letting that running game really put that defense in certain situations. So definitely going to applaud them for what they did on Sunday. But I think what we've seen, this is definitely something that we can go into the postseason and work off of, especially with us going to probably be the most experienced team in the postseason as well too, and knowing that we can turn into another gear. So just seeing that, it's like, okay, we still have those same mistakes, but they are self-inflicted wounds, and we can actually, work from that and heal that and actually mend those as well too. So put a bandage on it. Let's not make any have any turnovers. Let's not have any dumb penalties that put us in situations to where we're playing behind the sticks. Let's always try to stay ahead of the curve and put our offense at an advantage, because we got a defense to where you don't have to put up 30 points all the time. Get to 24 to 27, you're probably fine. just make it to where we're still chewing up the clock like we're supposed to. And when it comes to the end of the game and our defense got to get a stop, but we're ahead, we're more than likely going to get that stop. So anything you want to go ahead and say before we go ahead and jump on to our next
I
topic?
think I think you like you said, you took it all. Hats off to the
Yeah.
defense. All in all, it was a good performance, good enough to get a win. Let's dominate against the Raiders.
Facts, facts. All right. So before we go ahead and jump into our next topic, you make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Make sure and like and subscribe to our YouTube channel at Red Kingdom Media as well. Like, comment, and share on our video, and also check out our old videos as well. Clinton had a home of the cheese breakdown that he recently just dropped, so go ahead and check that out. And we got some other shows that's coming up as well too with their podcast with him and Shannon. So just make sure to just tap in with us and show us some love. We definitely gonna have stuff out for you every week and just talk about everything Chiefs related and also other NFL related topics as well too, because we just love the game of football. So that's pretty much it, Lonnie. Now on to our next topic, bro. Skyy Moore. He was recently moved to IR, ending the season for him, the regular season to be exact, and still could come back for the postseason, but it looks like it's due to a knee injury. A lot of people, we heard that excuse me, not Randy, but Andy Reid, he kind of mentioned that in a presser already and said that he was dealing with that, but I don't think people it was something that was gonna take him out for the end of the season. Even though when we hear knee injury, we always scared for it to be like season ending ACL type of tear, that type of deal, but it's not. But him going out for the rest of the season and somebody who hasn't missed offensive snap at all, well, or a game in general, it's kind of surprising in a way, and we feel like we're lacking in at the position already. So just having somebody like that get injured, it's like, oh, what does that do for the wide receiver room? We saw some ignorant comments as well. We definitely saw that about, oh, hopefully it's career ending and all that other stuff. That's not the type of Chiefs fans we are. Regardless of the play that you have out on the field, we're guys who's gonna encourage for them to be better, and I don't like that at all. But however, the timing is rather suspicious, though. It's like, what are we doing? What are we
Yeah.
doing? Like, uh, is it to give guys like Justin Ross and Richie James more snaps and the expectation of maybe McCole coming back as well too, coming off of IR? Is like, is he the odd man out for this? So I just want your thoughts on this. Do you feel like he is putting him in a doghouse in exchange of bringing up Justin Ross again and also utilizing Richie James more, or do you think it's more for the injury that he's actually dealing with?
Well, yeah, I don't want to say he's putting them in a doghouse. I would like to believe that it's for Sky's injury. However, it just gives way for opportunity for Ricky James and Justin Ross to earn some playing time and increase playing time.
Hmm.
That is being that he is going down with the injury. However, I do feel like things have come to a head for Skyy Moore. There are a lot of factors that put him in this situation. I feel like if he was playing at a higher level, didn't have the problems with ball security, some of those miscommunications that he had earlier in the season, that he probably wouldn't have. He probably would have avoided IR and kind of just played through the injury. But instead, I feel like the opportunity presented itself for where they could free up some space to get some other guys some snaps. And get them involved in the offense, and that came about being this guy was not having his production that they were really expecting him to have. So I feel like it's a little bit of mixture of a perfect storm, kinda, for the Chiefs, getting some guys back healthy, getting some production out of guys like Richie James, which took advantage of his 2 snaps and got a catch on one of them for about 17 yards. So I feel like it's a production thing also with Skyy. It's not only does he did have an injury, which is a big thing, but I think it's also a production thing. And when you're hurting the team and you're not helping the team, we have to change those fortunes and try and get things going in a positive manner. So with that being said, sometimes the best thing to do is just expunge those problems and try and see if we can get something better in there, to kind of take those things away. So I think that's what this opportunity did, and this is what Andy and Veach kind of took advantage of here, being that he was dealing with a knee injury, because this wasn't something that was reported ever, I don't think, to us constantly on a regular basis. I know he might have been dealing with some things, but this kind of came out the middle of nowhere for everybody. But I feel like it does open the door and give way for some guys to have some success, and for us to really find some guys that may be vital here down the stretch. So. And it gives time for Skyy to recoup as well too, and kind of get his mind back straight and kind of set on what he wants to do and who he wants to be in this league, because things have kind of gotten away from him. I seen Drew Lock yesterday speaking on him finally getting his start and going from a guy that was starting in the league to being benched and not being able to know if he was going to be able to start ever play a game again in the league. He was questioning himself. So I feel like this is a time for Skyy to look in the mirror. This is a guy that was drafted high for the Chiefs and has not anywhere lived up to the close to the expectation that we had for him coming in. So I feel like it's time for him to get a time to take a good look in the mirror, get back healthy, and in air quotes, heal himself, get himself back to normal, and hopefully come back and get his spot back um, and show us who he is and who they drafted him to be.
So I'm gonna be honest. I do think that this injury that he had, I don't think it's all the way, you know, I wouldn't say true. I think he's injured, but I do think this was a chance for them to actually, not move forward because he's still a part of his rookie deal. I think he'll still be back next year. They're going to try to work with him and give him another chance. But I do think this was a way for Andy Reid to actually be like, okay, what I have right now is not exactly working, and let me go in a different direction and try to give snaps to other guys, because we mentioned this as well, and we also seen other media members say the same thing. Quote unquote Alex Smith, he was just discussing on that Sunday NFL countdown that the Chiefs actually need to go ahead and tighten up that group and just have certain guys that they go after. And I think it gives them the chance to like go with what's working for them, and then also get those other guys that they wish to get included in that as well. So that's keying in on Justin Ross and also Richie James as well. I don't think these guys are just going to be saviors for the team or for that receiving group, but I think it allows us to just see what we have offensively and see what we can do to stretch the field and actually help us put more points on the field, and also take away those turnovers that were costly as well in those other games. Keep in mind, this is still a 9-5 team. I think they're not a team that's just, oh, I'm just worried about what's going on right now. And I think that, this is just a season for us. And Skyy Moore is somebody that we put on IR that's just going to change everything for us. And he was taking away all those snaps. But at the same time, I do think that it allows us to actually be able to see what we have going forward. And also, a lot of people were expecting Justin Ross to be kind of that guy somewhat in the middle of the season as well. And we can see what we have from him. So I'm definitely hoping that, that it works out for us. But at the same time, while Skyy Moore is on the injured reserve, he's kind of working himself up and seeing what he can do better as a receiver and see what he can bring back to the team once he come off of that as well. Um, I'm not big on just Andy Reid saying Andy Reid is a type of guy that just throws people on the doghouse when he doesn't get when he doesn't see them actually excel at the pace that he thought they would. But I think it allows him, because he always been a guy who give guys second chances and give more chances than usual. I think this is a way of like saying that, like, hey, I'm not happy with the play that you're actually displaying right now, but at the same time, I'm not giving up on you as well. And I can save us both from the situation of always dealing with these questions of why Skyy Moore is not doing this, or why he's not playing at this certain level, into why you didn't do it this certain way, why you have this fumble at this moment, even though it was called back. It kind of saves you from that. It's just kind of you dial back, you regroup, and see what you can do when you have that chance again. And sometimes it helped players like that as well too, where it's like, all right, man, I don't want to disappoint a guy like Andy Reid. I don't want to do this and be put in that position where I'm frowned upon or anything like that. So hopefully this is just a wake up sign. Wake up call for this young receiver. He's very young. He has a lot going for himself as well too, and I have some trust in Skyy Moore as well. So I I haven't given up on him. He has great route running ability, but I'm ready to see what we can get from Justin Ross and Richie James. Richie James was somebody who was explosive and they who made a couple plays for former teams such as the Giants, and then also Justin Ross. We always see his college highlights as well too of how he balls out and he we saw what he did in his freshman year that was wide receiver one type of plays that he was making as well. And we are hoping that he can bring it to our offense. So I think this is just a blessing in disguise on all sides. It gives Skyy Moore a chance to kind of regroup and kind of revamp his game going forward. But then it also gives guys like Justin Ross to be able to prove himself in this offense and show like, hey, before this suspension, this is what I could bring to this offense, and I could have mended all those worries that we all had before. And then Richie James, who was on IR recently, it's like I come back, it's like I'm that guy that we really didn't have to go back and get McCole Hartman. I could have did it as well too. I just needed the opportunities, but hey, it is what it is. So we get to see that now, and maybe it all works out for the best for us. Anything you want to add before we go ahead and move forward?
I think you said it like you said. You said it all with Skyy. Wish him the best.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. That's pretty much it. So let's go ahead and jump on into our next topic. So Christmas, not Halloween. The Chiefs have a chance to clinch the division on Christmas Day against the Las Vegas Raiders. Lonnie, do you think the Chiefs actually can get the job done on Monday?
Yeah, so yes, I do believe the Chiefs get the job done against the Raiders. The family feeling is in the air as far as all the families being together. We don't have to go on the road for this when we're at home. So everybody's family is in town. The feeling should be good. The anxiety is kind of high around here in Kansas City with the Chiefs fans because we're all on the edge of our seats. We haven't lost a lot of games like this in a long time, let alone 2 back-to-back. So everybody and their grandmother will be watching this one, sitting on the edges of their seats on Christmas at 12 o'clock on Monday, sitting around the TV, caravaned up, ready to see what happens with these Chiefs. So the family feeling is in the air here in Kansas City. I know all the guys are feeling it. I want to see the Chiefs assert their dominance because we need to be solidifying the guys that we'll be using down the stretch in the playoffs. And we want to get guys playing at a high level. So I feel like you get KT going in this game. You get him some easy stuff out of the backfield, like I said. Easy stuff around the line of scrimmage, stuff like you said they can't get put in the other teams, opposing teams' hands. Give them a chance to get involved, breaking some tackles, getting some straight up ground, gaining ground straight up field, getting some first downs, just being the dude that he knows he can be, and get your defense firing like they've been firing on all cylinders. But yes, I think the Chiefs get this one here on Christmas for the division, and show everybody that we can play. We're going to be here. We're going to be ready here coming into the playoffs, and we're going to be a force to be reckoned with because we're figuring out this wide receiver thing, and we're going to get it down packed before we go into the next to the stretch down here.
I'm gonna keep it short and simple on this one. I think we win a division on Christmas, regardless of if the Denver Broncos lose or not. We win the game. We determine our own destiny on if we clinch the division. We do it on Sunday, and I think the Chiefs will. Just because in situations like this, especially towards the end of the season, the later part of the season where we have a chance like a win it all game to go ahead and go and clinch, I think they will do it. I do think it'll probably be a closer matchup just because I like what I'm seeing over there with the Raiders. I'm not a fan of the Raiders at all. Don't applaud them, but I am a fan of player coaches, guys who actually played in the NFL who stepped up and were who
you
player coaches in Antonio Pierce. Fan? Okay. That doesn't make sense. I'm not even gonna entertain that.
All right.
Okay. All right. But like I was saying with Antonio Pierce, someone who was a player who was definitely phenomenal with the New York Giants. I enjoy what he has done with this team, who has dealt with a lot of issues, definitely post not John Harbaugh, but John Gruden, and then also who they had after that, Josh McDaniels.
The
Raiders.
I said Sean McDaniels.
Yeah, you're too worried about the you're too worried about the Dolphins and everything. Like I'm not. What are you talking about?
Josh McDaniels.
But he just seeing what he done over there, he's going to come out into this game, especially in Kansas City. They're going to try to spoil the parade for us, right? So they're going to try to be the team that be like, nah, you're not getting that on us yet. You're not winning like that. You're not going to get off that easy. So uh, we just got to come into this matchup like, hey, we're going to go ahead and get it done. That way, if we need to make decisions towards the end of the season, because depending on if the Ravens lose the next two, right, and we win out, we have a chance of winning the first seed. But at the same time, if the Ravens win the next two games, unfortunately, we're probably not going to be able to win that number one seed. They're going to have a game over us, so we can just hope for Miami dropping one, right? It gives us an idea of like, hey, do we want to go ahead and play the backups and we're going to be fine with the seeding that we got? We got Patrick Mahomes and like, hey, we're just going to rest up for this to have that advantage because we're not going to have that bye week, right? You might as well just try to force your own bye week at the end of the season if you can because you already clinched already. So I think it's going to be dependent on that. But we're going to come out. We're going to come out blazing. I think offensively, we're going to try to put up a decent amount of points. I'm not going to go in that realm of 30 or 40 plus points, but I do think you see a solid performance from the offense. I do think you see at the most 2 touchdowns from each half, 14 each in each half, putting us at the 28-point mark. I think that's enough to beat the Raiders. They play a court. We saw them put up 63 against the Chargers, but that's a team that we know right now it's not great at all, and we need to stop trying to say they're going to win a division until they actually prove that they're competitive and that they're going to stay consistent throughout the entire year. That was, you know, uh, demolish fest that we seen on Thursday. And they needed that as a unit, right? They had a down year, up and down. You sign guys like Devontae Adams. You end up bringing in Josh Jacobs, resolving his contract stuff. You thought you could bring in Jimmy G, who was a Super Bowl playing quarterback and everything like that. And you felt like, hey, we can make some noise in the West, and it didn't go your way. But now we got a coach that believes in us. We believe in that coach, and let's go out here and ruin the parade for a team that is expecting to always play at this high level or always want to go to the playoffs. Let's ruin it for them. Y'all not doing that to us. I think they're going to come in with that mindset. But the Chiefs don't care. Defensively, show out. Go ahead and kill Aiden O'Connell. That's George Karlaftis, former college teammate as well too. Have another day on him. Offensively, let's just stay consistent in who we're going to get the ball to. Rashee Rice, implement Clyde and Jet McKinnon, of course. Pacheco will be back as well too. He's back at practice after that shoulder injury, so you'll have your fiery running back, all that good stuff, right? So I think it happens. I think we can go ahead and win the division. Anything you want to go ahead and add on that before we move forward?
Nothing. I'm nothing. I'm ready for the next topic because I'm pretty sure they kind of coincide.
They go together, so we definitely gonna get into it. So, hey, don't forget to follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Also, make sure to like, comment, and share on the video as well. That way, we can interact with everybody and show everybody some love, talk back, converse about Chiefs news, Chiefs topics, because that's what we want to do. We love just interacting with everybody. Also, don't forget to check out all our old videos as well too. Go ahead and like those, share those to other people. That way we can get more Chiefs fans, for more football fans over to the page, all that good stuff. And we definitely got our upcoming podcast with the home of the Chiefs coming up as well too, along with my extra point video that's going to be played around Sunday before Christmas and everything before that game. So make sure to check us out, man, and show us some love. But Lonnie, like we said, it kind of goes in together. This is an Andy Reid workshop, right? So, like in this upcoming game, what's your keys to victories for the Christmas Day game against the Las Vegas Raiders?
Yeah, so I think my keys are that the running backs have to get involved. Period. Like you said, 10 has to get involved, 25 has to get involved, McKinnon has to get involved. We have to get those guys going. They're playing at a high level for us. All three of those guys are playing at a super duper high level, and then you got to get your wideouts going. Like I said, get KT some things behind the line of scrimmage, some stuff that's easy for him to get. Use them in those type of Debo formations, where he's lined up in the backfield there, like they've been doing all year. Don't let it give him an opportunity to put it in the other defense's hands, the other opposing team's hands. So Just kind of handle him with delicacy and care. But yes, I feel like you get 10 going, you get those running backs going, and you continue to build confidence in your defense. Tell those guys to keep pinning their ears back and keep them going. Keep firing off the snap, like you said. Lego George Karlaftis have another big day. Get him in the passing situations and see if Aiden O'Connell can beat you with his arm. But yes, I think that's the one of the biggest keys to victory for me is getting that running back room going. Those guys are playing at a super duper high level.
That's always a given. Like, be consistent when you run the ball. Make sure you're running it at the right time. I would say be consistent with what you do in the pass game as well too. Let's not try to go over the top all the time. Let's kind of keep it simple for our wide receiver group, but also make it effective as well too. Let's get it to Rashid Rice very early. Let's get it out to him in the flats, in the screen, and also when you're across the middle. Like I said previously before in the post game, when we talked about it, one of my favorite plays in that game was how he started to become more Patrick friendly and learning from Travis Kelce, how he sat in the middle during that play and Patrick Mahomes moved up in the pocket. And what he did, instead of going all the way across in the field, what he did was stay right there to where Patrick Mahomes can get it straight to him. And then once from there, he caught the ball, he made sure he had it, and then he worked for it and got extra yard as well too. So let's make it to where we're Patrick friendly, but also make it wide receiver friendly as well too. With KT, let's make it simple for him. Same recipe for him, but more outside in the numbers. Let's not play him across the middle as much, but when we're trying to get the ball to him quick, let's do it on the jet sweeps and also on those quick screens. But at the same time, when we're trying to develop a route downfield for him and let the offense come together, let's have him on the outside numbers. Maybe probably do like a post slant or anything like that, to where it's kind of more towards the outside, and he has that margin for error to where if he does make a mistake, it's not costly effective for the offense as well. And then Travis Kelce, let's find ways to get him open. We saw what he did before. We talked about it in previous years. He don't have to get a 100-yard game all the time, but in situational football, when we're down in the goal line and he always make noise, let's make sure we get it to him, and let's get it to him early. He had that game against the Raiders before where he had like 4 receptions for 21 yards, but it was 4 touchdowns on the goal line. We'll take that, and I will take that for the fantasy playoffs as well too. I'm serious. So it doesn't matter. Like the yardage, I mean, that's added, but if you get touchdowns, it's more points, and I take that. And he meets his point threshold, so that's cool. But and defensively, let's stay aggressive. Let's do what we have done all season before. I think your game plan and the type of defense that we have right now, what you do in every game is the same that you want to translate. Just because you hit all factors, being able to fit the scheme that Spags want, and once you hit this fit the scheme that he wants, and everybody's playing at that level, it doesn't matter who you play against, it's going to be effective against everybody, right? So it doesn't matter if you're a garbage team, it don't matter if you're a great team, because we saw it was able to hold up against great offenses as well too, right? So it should work against a great mediocre offense, right? Devontae Adams, he started off hot early last time, but you see how we shut him out at the in the second half. Jacoby Myers, he started off pretty decent, and we didn't hear much from him as well too. Hunter Renfrow, the same thing. Josh Jacobs, he had that big run. Didn't hear nothing after that as well. So let's just go out there. Let's be aggressive. Let's attack the quarterback. Let's kind of put this young quarterback in a position to where he had to make quick decisions, and his decisions is costly, and we capitalize off of that. Let's get some turnovers, put some points on the board, capitalize off those turnovers, and then we'll be good, and then we'll be fine. And then once we're there, we meet everything that we're supposed to. We win the game. Guess what? We get our hats. AFC West division winners. We move on. Let's finish off the season strong, and let's see what the seeding lies for us and when the postseason comes. So that's what I have for the key to victories for the game. Lonnie, anything else you want to add before we go ahead?
I just want to say no self-inflicted wounds. Another one I forgot on there. No self-inflicted wounds, no penalties. Come on, guys. Let's play clean, keep it clean. Get out of the game without shooting ourselves in the foot, and I think that'll take us a long way.
Facts. All right, Lonnie, to go ahead and close out the show. Everything matched with each other, right? So we got our predictions for this upcoming game. It's a holiday special, Christmas. Perfect time. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Producer's prediction. Chiefs 28-20. He got us winning the game. He got us winning the division. Lonnie, What are your thoughts and what are your predictions for this upcoming matchup
I'm going
against the Raiders?
28-14. The Chiefs haven't been able to get over 30 points this year. I can't get them up, put them
We
over 30
have,
yet.
we
Well, we
have
we have been able to get over 30, but we just haven't been able to do it consistently enough for me to get
exactly.
it to put them over 30 points. Which I really like to do when I feel good about games, and this is a game I'm feeling super duper good about being in. This on the holidays. This is an old school rivalry. If you are not a Chiefs fan and you don't know, this is something that we, since kids, we've loved. Right, Raiders games. They're always on Halloween, always around the holidays, New Year's. This we finally got one on Christmas. This is the one where we turn it around, and we usually have good days and stompings on Raiders.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I don't want to go over 30 points, but I can't, because this is just like the game is feeling so good, and it's around like a perfect time for everybody to be around the family. And if you got Raiders fans in your family, which I do, perfect time to be
We
around them.
all got one. It's
So,
weird too.
yeah, 28-14. The Chiefs get out with a victory. I want it to be convincing, but yes, we get out with a victory.
I
And beat
wasn't gonna,
beat our rivals.
bro. I wasn't gonna do it, but now since you said it, you kind of put it in my head, and it's kind of like, and it's a holiday, and it's you want to make us happy, right? Like this could be your gift to us, the offense. Forget it, man. 35-21. It's still 14, still 5-14. Uh, I think we can possibly get like we can possibly get put we can put up those points later in that game, just because I think it'll be close. Um, throughout. Well, not throughout, but I think we kind of have like we're up on them at least like 2 scores, and we just capitalize off of our defense, making that offense make mistakes. So 35-21. I think it's going to be a good game offensively. I think it's going to be simple, but it's going to be effective. You probably see a little razzle dazzle in and there, but just because it's the holidays. And defense, I think they get about 2 turnovers. We have up to 3 or 4 sacks. We're very aggressive and dominant on that side of the ball, and I think Spags is going to dial something up for us as well. So that's why I have for this upcoming game. Lonnie, anything you want to add before we go ahead and close it out and go ahead and pay our bills to the fans?
Did nothing. Just let's go, Chiefs, man. We gotta get it figured out. We gotta get it rolling. Stick together, y'all. I know when you're losing, there's a lot of dysfunction. Even we had it in our little friend group chat, arguing about certain stuff that we feel like is just not right. You could just start to feel the same sentiment as a team when you're losing. You could just feel it around the city. My homegirls was saying they lost 2 games in a row. She wasn't watching it no more. So like it's a big thing to win around here, man. Do not get caught up in losing Kansas City. Understand what it is to lose. Understand what it is to win in this league. When it's time to rally and get around the team, it's time to rally and get around the team. It's about that time, y'all. We're about to go down the stretch. We haven't been in this position before. Our back is against the wall. Find something to hold on to it, get close to it, and let's get ready and buckle down and get ready for the ride, because we in this for the long haul. And we're either gonna go out sad or we're gonna go out happy, and we got to be on the boat either way.
And I feel that sentiment as well. And we discussed that already before, right? We was talking about how people was enjoying going to the day parties and everything like that because the Chiefs was winning all the time, having a good time. You can go ahead. Like a lot of people used to go to work during those garbage years that we had where they just listen to the game on the phone and everything like that. And it's kind of like a different feeling around there. Unfortunately, once I got older and everything, I moved out and I moved away and I couldn't experience that. And I beat myself up for that every time as well too. It's like I went through all the garbage years and I was here, like young years, right? And then I leave when we get nice and get Patrick Mahomes. So, man, y'all enjoy it though. Like y'all have a good time and live it up. Don't worry about it. 9-5 is still a good year. We still have the potential to go 12-5. That's another winning season under the Andy Reid era. It's just a little different for us this year, and it's okay. You know, we have to figure it out. It might be years like this where we have to win the Super Bowl. We got to take advantage. So we'll see what happens. But before we go ahead and close this out, make sure to follow us on all social media platforms at Red Kingdom Media. Follow us on all our social media. Like and subscribe to our YouTube channel, and also like, comment, and share on all our videos. We had that big video with Jason Dunn, former Chiefs tight end as well too, kind of making some viral noise at this moment. People questioning his opinion about what's going on in that wide receiver coach room and all of that. and go watch the video. Go see. Don't
Tap in.
take something for a 60-second reel. Tap in and look what he said, because it's actually more in-depth details, and he go deeper into it because he talked about Connor Embry's father, John Embry, who was the tight end coach at the time when he was playing for the Kansas City Chiefs, and you see where it came from and why this guy took over that potential room, and why we feel maybe they're lacking that, and that could be reasons, but it's fixable things that can happen, right? And it's talked about in that video, so make sure to check that out and tap in with us. But thank you everybody for showing us love, always supporting the channel, and always coming in during our lives as well too. We'll see what's up with this live post game. It's gonna be weird because it's on Christmas and we're trying to get back to family and everything like that. Maybe it might be something quick and short where hopefully it's a win where we can just go in, hit our points quick, have a good time and go enjoy ourselves with the family. We'll see where everybody at during that time as well too. So we'll talk about that a little bit more and give y'all more updates about that. So we keep y'all connected, but we got some stuff coming out for y'all later on in the week as well too. Remember, Shannon and Clinton, they're gonna have their Home of the Chiefs podcast up, and then also where I have my extra point video for the pregame and stuff as well too. So we definitely gonna be showing love to y'all. Lonnie, anything for the people before we go ahead and get out of here?
Nope. Like you said, like, comment, subscribe, follow us on all social media platforms. You know where to find us at, y'all.
All right. Yep. Thank you for watching, and remember, go Chiefs!
Thanks for checking out this update straight from the heart of Chiefs Kingdom. We appreciate your passion, so please leave a like and follow us wherever you tune in from. See you next tailgate, your trusted source for all things Chiefs, Red Kingdom